Plants won't thrive around shitty energy, so it might be a sign for you if your plants keep dying to look at the people around you, look at the people in your home, or maybe even look at your own energy. Who said that? Come out in the name of Jesus.
Did you know birds start chirping about an hour before sunrise? That chirping creates a frequency that helps open the stomata on the underside of plant leaves, allowing plants to start breathing in the morning. It acts like a natural alarm clock, waking the plants up. That same frequency is also found in classical music. When classical music was played to a cornfield, the corn grew 15 feet tall. When it was played to squash plants, they produced 5 squash per leaf instead of 1. When it was played to a black walnut tree, it grew twice as fast as normal. It's called sonic bloom, a combination of plant nutrients and specific sound frequencies designed to help open the stomata.
Have y'all seen this video of this man floating a watermelon? If this was anybody else, I would be hesitant. I would be skeptical. But this is Senpai Kai, baby. If you don't know, you're about to learn today. Go watch more of his videos and realize that he has built his way brick by brick to get to this level. Senpai Kai, I love you, bro. You inspire me to go harder, man.
I still cannot believe that this competition right here, this competition led me to this, my very first attempt at telekinesis, which was not great, but you know what? It was my first attempt. And that attempt just led me to the next attempt, and the next one under a glass. It's funny because ever since I started sharing my own telekinesis practice, I get asked all the time, but is it real? Is it real? And I get it. I would have asked the same exact questions 6 years ago. Back then, if you told me that one day I'd be able to feel energy pulsing between my palms, read information in someone's energy field, or even move an object with focused intent, I would have laughed in your face. Like seriously, I probably would have laughed. But life and consciousness has a way of humbling our certainty, that's for sure. What I have learned is that real isn't always limited to what we can measure with our 5 senses, and that for me is a fact.
It is true. Trees love gossip. Trees love conversation. If you feel a pull to actually have a conversation and connect with a tree, lean into it. Trees want you to talk to them. They want to hear what you have to say. And to be quite honest with you, they already know. They know your past. They know your future. They know your journey. They know your desires. And ultimately, they will help you move along in a more powerful way. You lean in to honoring that feeling, that intuitive feeling to actually sit by the tree, sit at the bottom base of the tree, whether you're standing by the tree and you just want to say, hey, you know what's up? You know, hey, Peter, you know, just talk to the tree. Just have a full out conversation with the tree. Or if you feel like sitting down at the base of the tree and just holding space with the tree, you can do that too. Whatever feels natural to your body and your spirit. The tree is helping you move forward. How is the tree helping you move forward? It is helping you regulate your nervous system. Grounding helps to regulate our nervous system. It helps to open us up to possibilities. It helps to open us up to flow. The tree is here to help us walk across the bridge in a way that feels good and feels relaxing and inviting and safe. So when you have those moments where you feel like, man, I really would love to sit at the base of this tree. I really would love to hug this tree, touch this tree. Don't fight your blessings, babe. Honor what your intuitive guide is leading you to do, because ultimately something is trying to get you to the next level, trying to push you forward, trying to get your nervous system regulated enough, grounded enough, rooted enough to be able to handle and hold and withstand and carry your next experience, your next timeline, what it is that you ask for. And we have to allow ourselves to experience that. And a great way to prepare ourselves for those very things is connecting with the beautiful gift of Mother Earth, the wisdom of Mother Earth, nature. I'm LD Icon, and I guide successful women like you who are at major life crossroads to clarity so that you can see what the next chapter is asking of you. If you're interested in working together, click the link in my bio. I love you, superstar. Keep watching.
This is a video of plants communicating. Scientists have known for decades that plants communicate with one another. Some plants may even let out an ultrasonic squeal when they're stressed to warn other plants, for example, that there's a predator nearby, such as humans knocking them down. This is the first time we've been able to actually see them communicate if you look at the changing color of the leaves. Here's what's happening. Plants can communicate by releasing volatile organic compounds. And they release these compounds when they're stressed. It signals to the neighboring plants that there's danger nearby. In this case, it was an attack of caterpillars. This gives neighboring plants a chance to prepare, whether that's enhancing how much CO2 is exchanged, whether that's curling in, or releasing compounds that attract the predator's enemies. So complicated, but incredible. In this case, the scientists genetically modified the plant that when they were releasing these VOCs, the biosensors lit up. This goes to show how much we don't know about the natural world, all of the different forms of intelligence, ways of communicating.
Did you know plants can actually interact with our thoughts? In 1966, a man named Cleve Baxter decided to connect his plants to a lie detector test. This would basically record its electrical signals and detect any sensory information. When he did, he realized the signals were very much alive and fluctuating, just like when he tested it on humans. During his experiments, he also realized that his thoughts actually had an effect on the plant's electrical activity, and that even by thinking of harming the plant, you cause its signal to immediately spike, as if it somehow could detect your thoughts and experience fear. But perhaps the weirdest was that when he was eating his lunch, he noticed the plants were having a strange stress response, as if they somehow knew that their plant friend was being eaten. He then realized that if you simply think and feel an immense sense of gratitude for the food you're eating, it significantly reduces the stress signals both in the food itself and in the plants around it. Now, all of this may sound crazy until you realize how highly conscious plants actually are. They literally emit a high-pitched scream we can't hear when you cut their leaves or when they're not watered enough. They slowly turn towards where the sun is because that's one of their main sources of energy. They talk to each other through their roots and form social bonds and families with other plants. They have a sense of taste and smell which they use to recognize danger, recognize drought, and even recognize their relatives. They have a highly developed neural system in their roots that communicates in the same way that ours does. In one automated experiment, he allowed live shrimp to fall into boiling water. At that exact moment, the plants also had a strange electrical signal, as if they somehow felt that the shrimp were experiencing pain.
If you brine shrimp die and the plant feels their death, it means that even on the lower levels of life, there's a profound consciousness or an awareness that binds all things together.
This leaves us to think, what really is conscious and intelligent? I tend to think that everything has consciousness, from elements to stars to cells and even atoms. It's only that we experience different levels of consciousness. But that doesn't mean because we can't hear or communicate with them that they're simply unconscious. It simply means that they have their own unique form of conscious experience, which is much more different than ours. But just think, your heart beats itself and your cells replicate on their own. And we say that they do all of that in a mechanical and automatic way, because we believe they're unconscious. But what if everything in the universe truly is conscious? It's only that we experience consciousness in different ways.
The next time you see a tree, you'll think of this TikTok. Trees have friends, families, economies, and unique personalities. This is part 2. Don't miss part 1 of the Plant Consciousness series. Trees have underground networks called interlinking fungal highways, which act as trading platforms. This map shows a network of only 2 fungal species in the forest. There's over 100 species and the trees communicate and trade through them all. Trees have close friends. They don't discriminate and they're friends with trees of other species. If a tree is struggling, nutrients and even antibiotics are sent through the underground highway. Trees are close friends when they share a thick connection in the underground network. They communicate through low frequency signals in their roots. Trees that are bonded become very reliant on each other. If one dies, the other will too. Sometimes a tree will sacrifice itself to save another. There are old logs in forests that are remainders of trees that perish, yet are still kept alive by the surrounding trees because they don't want to let go of their friends. Suzanne Simard studies mother trees and how they take on supportive maternal roles. Scientists don't know how this occurs, but mother trees recognize their seedlings. They completely support them until they're strong enough to support themselves. The forest floor is dark, and saplings crave sunlight. As they grow up, they develop different strategies to attain this light. Peter Wohlleben tells stories of tree personalities. Some are immature and freeload off the underground network, while not making any progress toward being independent. Then there's other trees that display aggression and greediness. These trees grow diagonally, invading other trees' space, only to collapse later from imbalance. Most trees are sensible enough to grow straight up, knowing that they'll eventually triumph, being grateful for the opportunity. The next time you see a tree, talk to it because it can hear you. Plants have conscious awareness, and trees follow energetic fields. Like and comment if you want this in a part 3.
And look what happened. Look, y'all, serious, look what happened.
So in this lovely video before this, the girl talks about how she cusses out her mom's favorite plant because science says that plants react to when you physically talk to them. As a psychic medium, I can tell you that is true. Also, as a biologist as well, that is true. Science is learning a lot about plants physiologically. There we go. But as a medium, plants know everything, and if you do shit talk them, they will retaliate, or, you know, depending on how they feel, they might die. But this one's like, yeah! And it's great. Going so far as to knock down her picture. And yes, plants know what you look like, which is interesting.
Let me give you a small example of bending your reality. You ever thought about a song in your head and then somebody sing it out loud? That's called telepathy. That's a small form of bending your reality because you were thinking your thought and you pushed it into the person's head that was in the room with you. Or have you ever been thinking about somebody you ain't seen in a long time and they call you and text you out the blue? They ain't nowhere around you. That's a small example of bending matter with your mind because you took your thought and you pushed it into their mind, which made them think of you no matter where they are in the world. So they picked up the phone and text you or called you. Okay, that's a small example of bending matter with your mind. Now, each element you can completely bend and control because you are these elements, okay?
Can you hear the water? They can hear. When I was doing this research on plant intelligence, they have 20 senses. We only have 5. They're picking up magnetic fields, they're picking up pH, they're picking up nitrogen. They have all
How do we
these,
know all this?
There's a group of botanists, and they're doing these cool experiments with plants. They can hear. So if you play a recording of a caterpillar munching on leaves, they'll react and they'll send chemicals into their leaves to make them taste bad or be toxic. They can see. There are vines that change the shape of their leaves depending on the plant they're twining up in order to be hidden. How do they see the shape and to imitate it? We don't know. Plants will go toward a pipe with water in it because they can hear the water even though it's totally dry, and they'll send their roots down to it.
This man just convinced me that superpowers are actually real.
Watch this, y'all.
Notice the environment before we start. Pay attention, ready? It's just me. I don't work for Marvel. I don't got no team or you feel me? It's me in my backyard. It's time to accept the truth, bro. It's only gonna, wait, you feel me? This is, notice the environment.
This is where it gets wild.
Now notice me in the environment.
Things start moving, the energy shifts.
You see that? Notice the environment.
This is insane. Stay weird.
Plants, many of you do not know, can actually see you. Literally see you. For every single cell in the leaves of many plants are actually small lenses that allow them to interpret images of light and shadow. And they can thus have eyes everywhere. And so when you walk through a glade and you walk through a forest, they're looking at you. They're really looking at you. For this is how they can also mimic other things. And how they do many of the things they do is because they have more senses than you think. It's just that they don't necessarily have it centralized in the way that you do, in your brain and on your head with your eyes. And the idea of their root systems is every bit as complicated as the synapses in your brain, so they think with their feet. And their roots are connected to other roots of other plants, and you understand that plants are not necessarily exactly individuals in the way that you are, but they are colonies.
Yellow, blue, orange, blue, green.
Technique called VibraVision helps you sense the vibration of various objects in the physical world.
All physical matter in the universe is actually a form of energy that's made up of atoms. And those atoms are cycling or vibrating at a certain frequency. Practicing VibraVision gives us the ability to access our sensors and to perceive those vibrations, and then convert it into a usable mental image we call mindset.
Red calls on for me, please. Ready? Justin. Tell me what's on this card.
Teacup.
And now tell me what's on this card.
Tiger.
Isabella, what is the shape and color of this stone?
Kind of like a circle, and it's not really, it's kind of like see-through.
Here's yet another example of how consciousness can interact with the physical world beyond what science claims to be possible.
When we work with the blindfold, it's so that we can encourage the children to use the vision that they have with their higher consciousness.
Evie, tell me the shape and color of the stone.
It's red and kind of a circle.
So why are we just finding out that non-speaking autistic kids have superpowers? And I know you like superpowers. Yes, superpowers. There are studies that say non-speaking autistic kids can speak through telepathy. You heard what I just said, telepathy. That's unreal. But it's so godlike. Just hearing that alone shows me the power of God. And it's gonna be a lot of people like, where do you get that information from? If you need the information and you really wanna know about it, go listen to the telepathy tapes. That is a podcast about non-speaking autistic kids that basically have superpowers. So to break it down in layman's terms, they're studying these kids using devices, iPads, tablets, etc. And these kids communicate a very untraditional way. And where superpowers come into play is they don't even know that they're connected to a regular body. Meaning their frequency is so high, they think that they are one spirit. Wow. It's so crazy that some of them even have ongoing telepathy with their mother. And it may sound unbelievable that they were even able to know what their mother was doing when they wasn't even with them. That's different. Needless to say, this is something that's very interesting. I'm definitely gonna go down the rabbit hole because it's worth it.
If you understood that you can move blocks with your mind, why the move them with your hands?
Tweet on this. And who built the pyramids?
You gotta think about understanding. When you talk about building something, that means it was done by hand, right? That means somebody actually picked it up and built it. Nobody. It was energy. Like, I don't think you understand. Like, right now, you can move stuff based on vibration and frequency. Certain users, certain things move, and that's how they built it, right? They built them with their mind, telekinesis. But I don't think people understand a lot of you can do because we can't do it. The Wi-Fi towers, everything, the microwave, right? The food, the toothpaste, right? Everything stop your natural power. But you know, get its power when they get shot. Get shot, they can start sitting here off and around my knee going. So you gotta get shot and go through some kind of trauma, fall on their head, and then they become a genius. So you gotta get knocked back into the state where you're supposed to be. Right? I'm saying this is normal stuff that your body's supposed to do, and normal stuff that the body does that don't nobody do. They call it crazy. But the government don't think it's crazy. It just went over there and just defeated the mother sound. So I don't think you understand what's going on, Say Cheese. Sound does everything.